You may have heard the name Jaswant Singh Khalra. About a year ago, there was a talk of a film called Punjab 95 based on his life. The movie never came out, but the discussion briefly brought his story back into the public conversation. His story is one of courage and bravery while doing his duty as a human being and a Sikh, to stand in the face of injustice, even when faced with impossible odds. In Punjab during the late 1980s and early 1990s, people began disappearing. Some were taken from their homes, others were picked up from streets, fields, or workplaces by the Punjab Police. Most of them were last seen alive in their custody. Families were told their relatives were being held for questioning and would be released later only to never be seen again alive. Often, no formal arrest would be recorded. In many cases, the captives were murdered in fake encounters. When families wanted to know the fate of their loved ones, they were told that police simply never arrested that person. And if anyone asked too many questions, they would either be harassed or just become the next victim of the police. Many families never learned the fate of the bodies of their fathers, mothers, and children. Even in the face of this great evil, Jaswant Singh Khalra's courage never wavered. He was born on November 2nd, 1952 in Khalra village in Punjab's Taran district to Kartar Singh and Mukhtar Kaur. He grew up in a family shaped by political struggle. His grandfather, Harnam Singh, was an activist in the Ghadar movement for the independence of India. Harnam Singh was also one of the 376 passengers of the ship Komagara Maru, which famously sailed from British Hong Kong via Shanghai, China, and Yokohama, Japan, to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, in 1914, carrying 376 passengers from Punjab, British India. Of them, 24 were admitted to Canada, but the other 352 passengers were not allowed to disembark in Canada, and the ship was forced to return to India, where the passengers came under fire, and 19 of them were killed by the British troops. Harnam Singh, among others, was arrested upon their arrival and was tried in the Lahore conspiracy case against the British Empire and was later imprisoned in Lahore jail. Jaswant Singh attended school in his village and later studied at Bir Baba Buddha College in Jabal. After completing his studies, Khalra joined a cooperative bank in Amritsar. He built a stable professional life, eventually becoming the director of that bank. In 1981, he married Paramjit Kaur, and together they had two children, Navkiran Kaur and Janmeet Singh. In the early 90s, he became involved with Punjab politics by joining the human rights wing of Shromani Akali Dal, later serving as its general secretary. After two of his colleagues from the bank were picked up by the police and were never charged with any crime but later went missing, their arrest claims were denied by the Punjab Police. Jaswant Singh Khalra then started his own search by visiting municipal cremation grounds in and around Amritsar, like the Durgana Mandir cremation grounds. He went to read the records kept in municipal cremation registers. It recorded bodies categorized as unidentified or unclaimed, often with police case numbers attached. Dates matched reported arrests. Even the workers on the cremation grounds admitted to police dumping thousands of unclaimed bodies with different excuses, but they kept records of who dumped it and how many. Most of these dead bodies were of Sikh youth. In Amritsar district alone, Jaswant Singh Khalra and his colleagues documented about 2,000 illegal or unclaimed cremations between 1984 and 1994 based on these records. Later, when the investigation was expanded by courts and National Human Rights Commission, the number of such cremation across multiple districts of Punjab was estimated to exceed 6,000. But Jaswant Singh Khalra's claim was that the actual count may be over 25,000. In January 1995, Khalra and his associate J.S. Tillon issued a press note titled Disappeared Cremation Grounds. The note details shocking numbers: 40 municipal cremation grounds, about 400 unclaimed bodies; Taran Municipal Cremation Ground, 700 unclaimed bodies; Durgiana Temple, cremation ground in Amritsar, 900 unclaimed bodies between 1984 and 1994. In reaction to this, the Director General of Punjab Police, KPS Gill, or what I call him, the Butcher, held a press conference in Amritsar saying these kids are in Europe, Canada, and in America, where they are earning their daily wages, and these human rights organizations are telling us thousands of our children have disappeared. They are simply liars and propagandists.
Use of heavy rollers with men standing on them, electric shock, rape, burning with an iron, toenails ripped out, the breaking of the spine of people hung from the ceiling. Were these the methods the police used under your command?
No, not at all, because you see, the question was that we wanted information which was correct. When you torture a man, he will say anything. And my idea was that if you are going after terrorists, you are not going to do any vicarious punishment to anyone unless you catch the right man.
I have allegations of systemic use of torture, of illegal cremations.
No, there were no illegal cremations. You see,
there weren't 2,000 illegal cremations?
No.
With 2 or 3 bodies being put on a pyre meant for one person?
No.
That simply didn't happen?
No.
Jaswant Singh Khalra helped survivors file habeas corpus petitions in the High Court seeking justice for the killings or disappearances of their loved ones, and at least 41 petitions named senior police officer Jaswant Singh Sandhu as responsible for the crimes.
ਪਰ ਉਹ ਦੇਸ਼ ਜੋ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਜਮਹੂਰੀਅਤ ਤੇ ਨਿਆਂ ਪਸੰਦ ਕਹਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਹਾਈ ਕੋਰਟ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇੰਜ ਕਰੋ, ਇਹ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਇੰਟਰਸਟ ਲਿਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਤਾਂ ਬਣਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਖੜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਰੇਕ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਸ਼ ਹੈ ਭੇਜ ਦਿਓ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ। ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਨਾਲ ਮਖੌਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਕੌਮ ਨਾਲ ਮਖੌਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਮਖੌਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੋਰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਗਦੇ, ਸਿਰਫ ਡੈਥ ਸਰਟੀਫਿਕੇਟ ਹੀ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਸੀ।
On February 28, 1995, the Punjabi Tribune published a press note in which Jaswant Singh Khalra wrote about the harassment and death threats he was getting. It was titled, "After Killing Us, the Police Still Cannot Hide the Truth." In that note, he talks about how a Congress Party MLA met him in person and warned him that police officials are angry at the revelations of the secret cremations. And if you move forward with these investigations, they will make your body disappear as well. And where those 25,000 bodies will be investigated, there his body can be investigated as well. He also told him that they have already got permission for this from the government. In June 1995, Jaswant Singh traveled to Canada at the invitation of the World Sikh Organization, where he spoke to Sikh communities and Member of Parliament, presenting his evidence clearly and calmly. He wanted to bring international attention to this issue so that when he returned to India, his findings could not simply be ignored. After returning to India in July 1995, Khalra held a press conference in Amritsar and submitted detailed petitions to the courts, citing the numbers, dates, and districts he had documented. He made it impossible to dismiss what he had found as hearsay or rumor. On the morning of September 6, 1995, Jaswant Singh Khalra was abducted by Punjab Police officers operating under the authority of SSP Jaswant Singh Sandhu outside his house in Amritsar's Kabir Park. Rajiv Singh, an eyewitness, recounted, "I was at Jaswant Singh's house that day. He was washing his car when 2 DSPs, 3 inspectors, and several others arrived in a police gypsy and forcefully took him away." Mr. Khalra was never seen again.
With the authorities confronted by allegations of murder and illegal cremations after the most cursory post-mortems, it was Khalra's turn to disappear. While washing his car, 5 men drag him into a blue van. He'll never return home. The abduction takes only moments, but it's not the perfect crime. Far from it. There is an eyewitness, Rajiv Singh Randhawa,
sounds, I immediately came here and I saw a van had stopped in front of this house and abducted Mr. Khalra at gunpoint. And
Randhawa saw a vehicle with uniformed police drive off behind the blue van.
I immediately recognized one DSP Ashok Kumar immediately here, and as I was journalist with the Punjabi Tribune at that point of time, I knew it was Tarn Police which had abducted Mr. Jaswant Singh Khalra.
The abduction followed the same pattern as thousands others before him. There was no arrest record. Claims of his arrest were denied, saying the abductors were merely pretending to be police and that the police had nothing to do with it. This led to protests over his release and massive backlash from the international community. Jaswant Singh's family appealed in Supreme Court on September 8. Their petition regarding the abduction had been submitted at the time, and the judge asked the Punjab government to present the man and gave them 8 days. And here I think I'm gonna lose my mind. They assigned the investigation to Punjab Police, the same monsters that were responsible for all of this. So obviously the case dragged on, and at the end of 1995, the Advocate General ML Serene gave up and announced to the court that we cannot find the individual. You should give this case to someone else for an investigation. Meanwhile, the Khalra family and their supporters face harassment and death threats. Famously, Superintendent of Police Sukhdev Singh Sheena, who was charged with the investigation, would visit the family and always try to force Khalra's father and his wife to take back the name of Punjab Police from the report, and he can return Jaswant Singh back to his family. He told them to tell the press that Punjab Police had nothing to do with the abduction and it was some unknown men that took him. Any witnesses and lawyers faced death threats and had fake rape charges or theft charges filed against them. Even in court, they faced delays and dates one after the other for the next 3 years. Meanwhile, the family had no clue about whether Jaswant Singh was alive or dead. The story of Jaswant Singh's death may have remained a complete mystery if not for Kuldeep Singh, a former special police officer who later came forward as a witness in the Khalra murder case. Kuldeep Singh was tasked with the job of giving Jaswant Singh his meals during his illegal detention. Kuldeep Singh said that the head of Punjab Police, KPS Gill, came to visit Jaswant Singh while he was in custody a few days before his murder. Gill remained with Jaswant Singh for half an hour. After Gill's departure, Kuldeep Singh heard the head of police station, SHO Satnam Singh, say to Jaswant Singh that he could have saved himself if only he had listened to and agreed with the advice of Gill. On October 27, 1995, Kuldeep Singh said the police officer began beating Jaswant Singh, which was a regular occurrence, but then shot him twice in the chest. It was around 10 p.m. Jaswant Singh's body was taken in a police jeep and thrown into Harike Canal. The police officer, Arvinder and Balvinder, who disposed of Mr. Khalra's body, were rewarded with 2 bottles of liquor, which they consumed on the lawn of the Harike rest house, as the senior officers enjoyed themselves inside. Jaswant Singh Khalra's family performed his final religious rites on November 8, 1998, shortly after finding out what happened to him. Later, when Central Bureau of Investigation alongside National Human Rights Commission were tasked with investigating the possible human rights violations in Punjab, they failed to properly address civil liabilities and accountability issues by refusing to independently investigate a single abuse or allow a single victim family to testify. Instead, the Commission has based its findings on information provided by the Punjab Police, the perpetrators of the cremations. The Commission has limited its inquiry to 2,097 cremations in 3 crematoria in 1 district of Punjab and had refused to consider mass cremations, extrajudicial executions, and disappearances throughout the rest of the state. Despite evidence that these crimes were perpetrated, only 30 of the cases were registered out of the 2,097 admitted illegal cremations. while ignoring the remaining vast majority of disappearances and extrajudicial executions that occurred throughout Punjab. In the case of Jaswant Singh's murder, it took 10 years for a judge to finally convict 6 Punjab police officers out of the 9 that were accused. Ajit Singh Sandhu allegedly took his own life. Government interference was suspected but never proven. Ashok Kumar died of natural causes during trial. 6 that were convicted, their names were DSP Jaspal Singh, SHO Satnam Singh, Jasbir Singh, Surendrapal Singh, Amarjit Singh and Pritipal Singh. They were given 7 years at first by the first ruling, but because of mounting pressure, the judge turned the punishment to life imprisonment. Now you might be wondering, hey, that's 8. What happened to the 9th? Well, the 9th accused was KPS Gill, the Director General of Police, who was directly named by a witness to be very much involved in the murder of Jaswant Singh Khalra. But he was never charged or had any charges even brought against him for any of the crimes against humanity that he committed. He got caught in sexual harassment of an IAS officer, Rupan Deol Bajaj. He was ordered to pay 200,000 rupees, that's about 3,000 Canadian dollars, and served 3 years of probation. The butcher retired with full pension, later serving as the president of Indian Hockey Federation, and died at the age of 82 from cardiac arrest. And that's the Indian justice system. For all of you uninitiated, it boils my blood after reading everything he did, not just in Jaswant Singh's case, but during the entire insurgency period in Punjab. He wiped out countless futures and faced no consequences. Even after all the atrocities he committed, he is widely celebrated among the elites and the government, having given a Padma Shri Award, the 4th highest civilian honor in India. I cannot forgive that butcher and the Punjab Police for what they did, not just to the civilians and also the thousands of good police officers that refused to do their dirty work, a lot of which also joined the missing victims. Officers such as Satnam Singh Manik, who after witnessing the killing of Kulwant Singh Kanta, a 15-year-old high schooler, a mere child, he left his job after witnessing such an evil act. Kulwant Singh was shot in the head in front of Satnam Singh, and his body was mutilated before throwing him in the canal. After Satnam Singh raised his voice against the police, he started getting harassed by the same police officers he once served with. He was then tortured for 42 days under the pretext that he had switched sides and joined the militants. Manik was one of the lucky few to actually survive when many others who simply just vanished from the records like everyone else at the time. Manik filed a case in 1994 in High Court, where it was heard eventually in 2013, where the judges ruled in police officers' favor, because apparently there was not enough details. They refused to even accept his statement saying he was an eyewitness, even though he did witness the torture and murder of 10 people. Mind you, this petition in court was not even for launching an investigation, but for the first step called the first information report in any offense, and they were denied even that. They later filed the case in Supreme Court in 2014, where it hasn't been even heard. The blatant misuse of power and disregard for human rights is a problem in India to this day. The Indian government takes pride in being the largest democracy, yet fails its citizens at every step and silences any criticism to their policies by means of violence and harassment. Jaswant Singh knew exactly what would happen to him. He was warned, he was threatened, he was told his body would disappear like thousands before him, and yet he continued, because for him, silence in the face of injustice was a greater crime than death. The system that killed him was never truly held accountable. Many of the perpetrators lived full lives, retired with honors, and were protected by the very institutions meant to deliver justice. Meanwhile, thousands of families in Punjab are still waiting for answers, for acknowledgement, for even the dignity of knowing where their loved ones lie. If his story makes you uncomfortable, it should. Discomfort is the price of truth, and forgetting is exactly what those in power are counting on. Hi, I'm going to add some articles in the description, and I hope that you will give them a read. They shine light on many things that are simply impossible to talk about in one video. And I would like to thank insaf.org for their continued work on these matters, and ask for your forgiveness if I made any mistakes in recounting these events. And as always, thank you for watching.